Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. This is going to continue on the Death Guard army build series for the Horus Heresy. And before we look at the model that I'm adding to the army, I just want to thank everyone that has subscribed so far. We're coming close to 100 subscribers already, which is pretty awesome. You know, we've only really been filming, making videos for a couple months now, and I'm glad everyone's enjoying it, and thanks for following along. What we're looking at today is my biggest addition to the Death Guard army, which may be a little premature with the size of the army so far, but you know, it's a model that's been sitting around, and you know, with the upcoming release of the Falchion, I thought I would get mine finished, which was it's a Forge World model, so it's all pure resin. This thing is a beast. It's heavy. It's a heavy model. You know, it's been a blast to paint. And I think that the model itself and the rules for it are really neat. I think it'll have a hard time maybe being fielded. I think, you know, overall, it really can only target other big units, you know, Titans, other super heavies. And we'll go over the rules a little bit to look at why it may not be good in a lot of games. But yeah. So first we'll look at the model. So again, this is following the same theme as the rest of my army so far. The same tones. I made sure I put a lot of weathering powders on it. It's equipped with a neutron wave cannon and, or is it a neutron wave cannon and 2 sponson mounted las cannon arrays. Yeah, so a lot of weathering powders on it. I'm going to try and rotate it, and if it gets all messed up, I'll do a cut so we can see the other side. So yeah, just spinning it around. You can see it's well weathered throughout. I wanted some nice bright color contrast for the coils at the top of the neutron wave cannon up here, just to give some nice color contrast, which a lot of my army is lacking. And you know, a lot of muted greens and whites and dirt tones with some brass in there. So I thought this would be a nice addition. And again, with decals throughout. Yeah, so I'm just going to spin it back around. And just because I'm having a hard time maneuvering it in my little setup here. The back is, yeah, it's fully painted. The underside as well. Okay, so just looking at the rules for it, and you know where I think this sits and what can make it interesting or difficult is, you know, it's a 650 point unit, so you know, very expensive on the points front, and it has 18 hull points, which is a lot, which makes it a lot to deal with. And I think armor in this edition is much more difficult to deal with overall. You know, it's softer than in the last edition, I think. You know, after looking over some old rule books, it's 14 on the front, 13 and 12 on the rear. And you know, it's got a good ballistic skill, Space Marine ballistic skill, so that's a 4 with 10 movement, so it moves and shoots pretty well. I think where it starts running into issues is it's with its neutron wave cannon. So the thing's got a massive range at 120 inches, and has 2 shots that are Ordnance D Armor Bane with shock stunned. And you know, each shot does 4 damage. It's a range strength of 12 and AP 2, so you know, this thing is doing a lot of damage to whatever it's hitting. But if you're shooting at anything other than like super heavies or Titans, you know, it's a waste. You know, you're deleting small things really quickly. But for the point cost, like, I feel like it's hard to justify unless you're playing really large games with really big models. I'd be really interested to know what your thoughts are. Anyone that's used it so far in this edition. So yeah, let me know what you think of it and whether you think it's, you know, outside of like 4,000 points, or you know, you're in like Knights and Titan battles. Let me know if you think it has a place in, you know, sub 3,000 point games. But anyways, yeah, that's the model. Let me know what you think of it. You know, if you like how it turned out, if you like how the weathering turned out. You know, be sure to, you know, all the like and subscribe stuff that everyone says, and follow along for more. It's been really fun, and now I've got 2 armies on the go. So I have the Ultramarines and the Death Guard. So they're going to be kind of intermittently released amongst each other as I finish things. But yeah, thanks for watching.